Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Oi, come here! Ow! Somebody grab him!
Piers Featherstone Hall, gentleman and hero, is due to return from the Americas, having completed a secret mission of the utmost importance to the British Empire. If anyone can help me, this man can.
Ah, England. This green and pleasant land. Heart of the British Empire. After 3 months trailing round America, followed by a couple of weeks on a steamer in a third-class cabin. Oh, it's good to be home, isn't it, Mossop?
It's good to be back on dry land, sir. I hate boats.
Well, you seem to have regained some of your colour, old chap.
You can't keep a good man down, sir.
Just try keeping your meals down for now, Mossop. We're nearly home.
Righty-ho, sir.
Ah, London. The hub of polite society, the very cornerstone of civilization, eh, Mossop?
Right you are, sir. America's all very well, but I wouldn't like to live there. I can't help feel there's something missing.
Poverty, I expect, Mossop. Not enough dregs of society, no beggars, no urchins, no common street tarts and drunken ne'er-do-wells. No wonder you felt out of place there. Still, it's a young country. Give them time. They'll have their own poor one day.
But America is so big. How will they ever be able to manage all those people?
Don't be too disparaging of the Americans. They could be very useful allies in a war someday. Come on, hail a carriage, and let's go home, Mossop.
There's bound to be one in the street, sir.
That lady has a story or two to relate. Looking after her child must be a monumentous task. That young upstart could do with a lesson in good manners. It's advertising the joys of travelling up north. How are we going to get home?
We should take a cab, sir.
Why are you following me?
I'm your loyal and trustworthy manservant, sir. I will follow you to the grave.
Actually, I think I'd rather let you go first to that particular destination. Shouldn't we go somewhere more interesting than just my house?
Sir, we've just travelled halfway across the world by land and sea. Haven't we had enough adventure for a while?
I don't know, Mossop. I get the feeling that this is the start of a whole new adventure. So, what shall we do next, Mossop?
I suggest we go home, sir. Me feet are killing me.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Instruct the driver to wait here, Mossop. I may want to go out again later.
Righty-ho, sir.
Home at last. Fetch me a drink, Mossop. I need to relax a little before I make my report to the Queen.
But you're not due to report in for a week, sir.
Better make it a large drink then, what?
Excuse me, Mr. Featherstone-Haw, I presume?
I can't believe it.
Nor can I, sir.
I don't believe you cannot pronounce my name properly. It's Fanshawe.
But it's a talking cat, sir. It speaks English.
It's hardly talking English if it can't pronounce one's name. It's perfectly simple. F, silent E, A, silent T, silent H, silent E, silent R, S, silent T, silent O, N. Swap the N and the S, silent E, H, A, U, G, H. Haw! Fanshawe!
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Fanshawe. Please accept my sincerest apology.
Very well, but don't let it happen again. What do you want?
I'm desperately in need of help from a renowned gentleman such as yourself.
Oh, you want a job? Well, I'm sorry, but I already have Mossop here for my manservant, and I'm happy with his work. But if you can cook anything other than bangers and mash and manage to take a boat trip without shouting your lunch at the fishes every 5 minutes, you might be in with a chance.
Oh no, Mr. Fanshawe. I'm not looking for work.
That's typical of the youth of today, Mossop. They think the world owes them a living.
Too true, sir.
You misunderstand me, sir. I am here to implore you to undertake a mission. A mission so dangerous and so important that the fate of the world may very well depend on it. I beseech you, as a gentleman, to listen to what I have to say.
As a gentleman, I'm obliged to hear your story, but make it brief, or Mossop, as a manservant, will be obliged to throw you out of my house.
Very well, Mr. Fanshawe. Thank you. My story begins thousands of miles away on a remote tropical island in uncharted waters. There, deep within a mountain, lies the diabolic laboratory of Dr. Dinsey.
Who's Dr. Dinsey?
He's an evil, twisted genius who has discovered the satanic secret of combining two different species to make a new creature altogether. He has a device that he calls the Gene Machine. The two original creatures are completely destroyed, and the resulting animal is so different, so strange. Mr. Fanshawe, what he's doing is against God himself.
Sounds all right to me. Maybe this doctor could combine Mossop with a fish to get him some sea legs.
You don't understand, Mr. Fanshawe. Dr. Dinsey intends to create an army of horrific creatures which he can use to take over the world.
This all seems a bit far-fetched to me.
I am living proof of his madness. He took a normal alley cat and combined it with a human being to make me. I was his 73rd experiment. That's my name, 73.
So you have all the sentience and intelligence of a man, but also the agility and suppleness of a cat.
Yes, Mr. Fanshawe. Washing myself has a whole new meaning to me now. You wouldn't believe what I can bend over and lick.
A real gentleman would never lick himself. There.
Now, We'd get someone else to do it.
You know, I think this is just some sort of confidence trick to extort money out of God-fearing fellows. You're probably just some hirsute boy with a tail. Mossop, throw him out.
No, wait, you're my only hope. There is no one else brave enough to conquer Dr. Dinsey.
Oh, I'm sure there's lots of gullible people round who'd only be too happy to help you.
But they don't have your reputation, Mr. Fanshawe. I'm sorry I bothered you. I thought you were the bravest adventurer in the world. The newspapers must have it wrong. Maybe I'll try Rafe Kingpiece instead. He claims that he fears nothing at all.
Kingpiece? I wouldn't believe anything that rogue says. The man's a charlatan. He dyes his hair, you know. He's not naturally blonde.
And yet I'm sure he would take on this mission.
For a price, I'll wager.
The knowledge that he had saved the world would doubtless be reward enough.
Not for him. That bounder can't be trusted. If he saved the world, he'd probably keep it for himself.
You give me no choice. Help me, Mr. Fanshawe, or I will have to ask Mr. Kingpiece.
Well, we can't have that, can we? Mossop, hail a carriage to take us to Buckingham Palace. I'll inform Queen Victoria about the situation, and we'll have the Royal Navy sort this scoundrel out in short order.
I'm afraid it's not as simple as that. Dinsey has spies everywhere. If a naval task force was assembled, he'd go to ground and disappear until he was too powerful to stop.
We'll find someone else to help then.
Who else would believe my story, Mr. Fanshawe? They'd think it was a trick, like you did. You'll have to do it alone.
My master is not afraid to fly in the face of adversity.
Thank you, Mossop. Just what exactly do you expect me to do?
You must get to Dinsey Island and defeat the Doctor and his mutant army.
Where is this island?
The area is uncharted, so I don't know. You'll have to find it.
My master can find anything.
Thank you, Mossop. Can you give me a clue, 73?
While I was there, I heard the Doctor talking about the only other man who knew the location of the island. A seafarer called Captain Nematode, who shared Dinsey's hatred of the world's governments and who helped him to set up his laboratory.
Then we must charter a ship and find this Captain Nematode. Mossop, what funds do we have left after our American trip?
Not enough to charter a ship and a crew, sir. In fact, barely enough to feed us for a week.
Are you saying that because you don't want to set sail again, Mossop?
Oh, no, sir. But couldn't we go on an adventure we could walk easily to just this once? Please? An ambling adventure? Couldn't we tackle a menace that's just a brisk stroll away? A threat that's only a jaunty saunter down the road? Who knows, sir? There might be a mad doctor just around the corner we could battle.
Oh, yes, Mossop. Wouldn't that be just so convenient for you if the local family doctor turned out to be a crazy monster? I don't think so. Not a good, decent man like Dr. Jekyll.
I don't go to him. I go to that nice young Dr. Crippen. Anyway, we really do have next to no ready funds, sir.
Then I will have to raise the necessary funding myself. 73, you stay here, where you'll be safe from passing circus folk who may wish to turn you into a sideshow attraction. Mossop, we must think of a way to get some money. About £8,000 will do, I should think.
£8,000? However will we find that much?
This might come in handy to put things in. I must have words with Mossop. A gentleman cannot be expected to tidy up after himself in this day and age. Let's see what I've got in my wallet. Let's see what I've got in my wallet. This is all the ready cash I have left. A few measly pounds. Let's see what I've got in my wallet. This is a rather ornate membership card with my name on it. I know a gentleman never fetches his own mail, but I shall make an exception in this case. I can always deduct something from Mossop's salary. There's a letter inside this envelope. This must be from my beloved Mirabella. I recognize the scent. Venus flytrap, if I'm not mistaken. I bet it's a love letter. How much she's missed me. How she longs for my embrace. When will I go and see her? That sort of thing. She's absolutely besotted with me. Bless her. Let me see.
Dear Piers, or should I say, gutless, unchivalrous bag of maggot-ridden offal! How dare you go off to America without me? I had to go shopping using my own allowance for weeks. You'd better get your deceitful hide round to my house immediately, or you can kiss our engagement goodbye. And you'd better have bought me a jolly expensive present too. Yours sincerely, Mirabella de Camembert, Miss.
Oh dear, I suppose I better go and see her. She doesn't like being kept waiting. This is the first time I've been in Mossop's room. So this is how he chooses to live. 2 chairs and a bed. I'm paying him far too much. If Mossop uses that in his cooking, it would explain a lot. This could set major events in motion. Oh, Rob Roy Glaswegian Malted Industrial Whiskey. Recommended for paint stripping, treatment of verrucas and hand-to-hand combat. Drink only in emergency. I hope Mossop keeps this strictly for medicinal purposes. I'm sure Mossop won't mind me borrowing this. After all, I provided the wages that paid for it. I shouldn't have left this lying around. It keeps my most valuable possessions safe and sound. Let's see. Maybe some of my books can help me in my quest. It's the key to the bureau drawer in my study. It's the key to the bureau drawer in my study. This is the deed of property to this house. It's worth thousands of pounds. Whoever owns these owns my house. I better hang on to them. Maybe I can get a few farthings for this. I should get it valued by someone who knows about such things. Perhaps the Royal Scientific Institute could help. I don't think anyone would want that rug. Apart from its previous owner, of course.
Where to, Governor?
Blackfriars Station.
Paper! Paper!
What are you selling?
The latest copy of the Sporting Times, Governor. All the results of last week's racing within these very pages.
Essential information indeed. I'll take a copy.
I'll be needing your payment, Governor. Thank you kindly, Governor. Hey!
Where to, Governor?
Barnesbury.
Here. You'll never guess who I had in the back of me cab yesterday.
Not if I sit here silently staring out of the window and pretending not to hear you. No.
Do you mind if I wait here, sir? I know Miss Mirabella is your betrothed, but
But what, Mossop?
well, she scares me, sir.
Nonsense, Mossop. She's just strong-willed, with a mind of her own. She knows what she wants, and she's going to make me get it for her. Wait for me here.
Thank you, sir.
That's Gertrude, the senile maid of my beloved Mirabella. Hello, Gertrude. Is Mirabella here?
Hello?
Miss Mirabella, your mistress. Is she here?
I'm not Mirabella. I'm Gertrude.
I know that.
There's a strange girl in the garden, you know.
So she's in the garden. Excellent. Thank you, Gertrude. Mirabella, my darling,
It's about time! I sent that letter a week ago!
But I've only just returned from America, my sweet. I came as soon as I could.
Pierce, if you really loved me, you would have got here sooner. I've had a simply awful time with the wedding invitations. I had to write them all out myself. It's a good job the diamond on the engagement ring you gave me was so small. Otherwise, the added weight on my hand would have made the task even more unbearable.
Exactly how many people have you invited, my little puppet?
Including your family and friends?
About 30 of them, yes.
Well, so far there's 30 plus 3, that's 33, 38, 41, 47, 1,018.
1,000 and... We don't even know that many people.
But they're people we should know, Piers. It's typical of you to try to stifle my chances of becoming someone important. I go to the trouble of inviting dukes and earls and people who mean something in society, and you want to spoil it for me as usual. Sometimes I wonder why I'm marrying you at all.
That is my beloved fiancée. She's as affectionate as a great white shark, and she shops like there's no tomorrow. Is there anything I can get to make you happy, dearest?
A knighthood would be good for a start. But for now, a strong cup of tea would be nice.
I will be talked at by you later, my sweet. I think 73 might appreciate this. Hello, Gertrude.
Why, if it isn't Prince Albert.
Can you make Mirabella a cup of tea?
Who's Mirabella?
She's your mistress. Oh, never mind. Just make a cup of tea, will you?
Yes, Mum.
Where to, Governor?
The docks. Smell that sea air, Mossop. Isn't it bracing?
Actually, sir, I think the odour might be dead fish.
It's still better than your cooking. Stop worrying. You can't get seasick from just looking at boats.
If you say so, sir.
Have you ever heard of a chap called Nematode?
Captain Nematode? Nothing but a legend to scare children on dark, stormy nights.
Tell me more about the legend of Captain Nematode.
Some say he's a man wronged by society. Others say he's Lucifer himself, come to steal the souls of sailors. There's even some say he's a 30-foot green pixie, but no one listens to them. I've heard he travels the 7 seas in a huge mechanical fish, capable of staying underwater for weeks on end.
A mechanical fish?
I'm only telling you what I heard.
Do you know where Captain Nematode can be found?
If he really does exist, then he can only be found under the sea. For legend says he refuses to set foot on dry land.
Because of his contempt for all land-based life forms?
No, because he gets sunburned easily.
What else do you know about Captain Nematode?
Only that he's a deeply troubled and tormented man, driven by some strange inner force to find the lost city of Atlantis.
What do you know about Nematode's mechanical fish?
I've never seen it, but I've heard of ships that have been sunk under mysterious circumstances. And the survivors telling of a huge metal fish that moved like lightning, ran in their craft and breaching the hulls. But it could be just a convenient excuse for when the crew have got drunk and hit an iceberg.
Come now, ships don't hit icebergs in this day and age. Modern technology prevents it from happening.
I wouldn't be so sure. One thing I do know. With the size of passenger ships nowadays, an iceberg strike would cause a disaster of titanic proportions.
What is the lost city of Atlantis?
I think it's from Greek mythology. A city that was swallowed up by the sea, or something like that.
Good heavens, what happened to the inhabitants? Did they all drown?
No one knows. But there are rumors that some of the women survived by growing fishtails and becoming mermaids. But that may just be wishful thinking by lonely sailors on long voyages.
Do you know where Atlantis is?
I remember this old sailor down in Zanzibar. Stumpy McPherson was his name. Worst shark wrestler I've ever seen. He was selling these crudely drawn maps showing the location of Atlantis. But I couldn't make the details out any too good, 'cause he drew 'em with a pencil in his teeth. Him not having hands the like. We thought he was a confidence trickster.
Did you see Stumpy's map yourself?
I caught a glimpse of one, once. Wasn't really a map at all. Looked like a picture of a big cat. A panther. And there was this arrow sort of pointing to its eye.
A panther's eye. Have you any idea what it could mean?
It means Stumpy McPherson was as good a cartographer as he was a shark wrestler. But somehow, Crappy Mappy McPherson didn't have the same ring to it.
Can I find this Stumpy McPherson? Is he still alive?
Sadly, no. No one bought his maps, and he went back to shark wrestling. He was last seen frantically headbutting a great white.
Why was Stumpy trying to sell the maps?
He was trying to raise money to sue the businessmen who ran the shark wrestling show. I told him, Stumpy, you don't have a leg to stand on. But he didn't listen none.
Why did Stumpy become a shark wrestler in the first place?
All his other shows failed. The marlin fencing, the eel tying, the pro-celebrity halibut juggling. They're a tough crowd to please in Zanzibar.
Did Stumpy have a death wish?
I think he did. Some say he was pining for a girl he left at home, and that he'd go to sleep at night clutching a picture of her to his chest, and mumbling, "Look at the legs on that."
This was still when he had his arms.
This was still when he had his chest, laddie.
I may consult you later, old chap. I need to find people of dubious reputation.
Why on earth do you want to do that, sir? A fine, upstanding gentleman like yourself shouldn't be involved with people of that kind.
If I'm to obtain the necessary funds to charter a steamship, I must resort to nefarious methods. And since I'm a decent, God-fearing Englishman, I have no natural penchant for criminal activities. Therefore, I shall consult the experts.
There's plenty of those in London, sir.
You're born of common stock, Mossop. You must know a den of iniquity somewhere.
I think the place you're looking for is the Crab and Sailor.
What kind of establishment is that?
It's a public house, sir, with a bar that serves real ale. It's only the water that's recycled.
Sounds perfect. Where is it?
Whitechapel, sir. One of the most dangerous, flea-ridden mudholes in the British Empire. It's renowned for being voted place least likely to host the Great Exhibition of 1851.
We'll have to visit there on our travels. It could come in very useful. Whatever you do, Mossop, don't be sick again.
I'll try to hold it in, sir.
What do you know about ships, Mossop?
Only that they rock back and forth and up and down and round and round.
Yes, all right. You're starting to make me feel sick now. I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Where to, Governor?
The Crab and Sailor Public House in Whitechapel. Oh, what's that dreadful smell, Mossop?
Me, I expect, sir.
No, I mean that other dreadful smell.
Oh, all of Whitechapel smells like that. Are you sure you want to come here, sir? I mean, it's not exactly the sort of place a fine gentleman like yourself would normally frequent.
It's perfectly all right, Mossop. Besides, it's good to see how the other half lives sometimes, even if it is the lower half. What a repellent little man. I'll wager that he isn't popular with the ladies. Who are you?
I am Jonathan T. Ripper. At your service, sir.
What are you doing here?
I am just strolling along, taking in the sights of London, watching the various deadly sins be performed with alarming regularity.
What's your job?
I am doctor to the royal household by day, and Freemason by night.
What a rich and varied life you must lead. Is there anywhere at all decent here in Whitechapel?
No, they're all cesspits of sin, depravity, and debauchery. Everywhere you look.
Don't you like debauchery, then?
Certainly not. The peddlers of sin should be hung, drawn, and quartered.
Quite right, too. It's high time someone took a stand.
Do you think I should do something about it, then?
Of course! Strike a blow for the normal, decent people of the world. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, sir.
Good day to you. He obviously works in engineering, judging by the oily nature of his clothing. Hello there. I take it you work in either engineering or sewage, judging by the state of you.
Aye, that I do. I'm an engineer, truth be told. Say, Governor, do me a favour and give me something to wipe my hands on. All this grease is getting on my blinking dinner.
Here you are. Wipe your greasy hands on this.
Thank ye kindly, Squire.
I'm not really sure I want this back, but it is mine. I can hear some hushed chatter in there. hear some hushed chatter in there. What is your particular line of work?
I'm a forger, mate. I take documents and change them to read how the client wants them to read.
I do not wish to continue this conversation. I haven't seen such an unsavoury cove since I last visited the House of Commons. She looks like mutton dressed as, well, mutton, actually. Please, let me in. I'm on an important mission.
Yes, I'm fully aware of what important mission you're on, my love. It's so important that once you've accomplished it, you'll roll over and go to sleep, I'll wager.
No, it's nothing like that.
Don't play the innocent with me, Sonny Jim. I eat men like you for breakfast. Well, when I was younger, that is. Show me your membership card or clear off out of it.
Where to, Governor?
The Royal Scientific Institute, Kensington.
What are we doing here, sir?
We may be able to sell some of my possessions to the Institute to raise funds for the mission.
Where are we going to find the other £7,999 from, then?
I'll have you know that some of my possessions are very valuable indeed. That Ming vase of mine, for example. You know, the one you dropped when you were dusting it. Well, I'm sure I've got some other items that are worth selling.
You can't go through there, sir. It's for historians and scientists only.
How do you know I'm not one of the cognoscenti?
You're dressed too tastefully, sir.
Please let me in. I'm a collector of antiquities.
I'm afraid you'll have to show me that you're a serious collector. This is an elite establishment. We can't let any old riffraff in.
You must let me in. Let me through, or my manservant will bite you.
That wouldn't be wise on his part, sir. I fought in the Crimean War and killed 30 Russian dragoons with just my appendix.
I have come to visit the eminent writer and scientist, Herbert George Wells.
Sorry, sir, he's gone away. He said he'd be back before anyone would even know he was gone.
Look, I've discovered the missing link.
Unless I'm much mistaken, that's your manservant, sir.
Yes, he was under my nose all the time. Isn't that amazing? You don't believe me, do you?
No, sir.
I have in my possession an incredible talking cat.
Sir, this is a respected scientific institute, not Barnum and Bailey's circus.
I won't talk with you now. I'm a busy man. This is part of my collection. Will this convince you that I deserve to be allowed in?
It's a nice piece. Late Phoenician. I'm sorry for doubting you, sir. You are a true aficionado. Please, go on through.
But look at it! It's a monstrosity! It will never work!
You don't know what you're talking about, Tipple. Computing engines are the future of science. To ignore the calculating power of our analytical engine is folly.
But all the Institute's funds have been squandered on this oversized abacus. The future is in exploration. If you would only give me the staff necessary to complete my project.
Oh yes, your project. To go to the moon? Tipple, you are a fool. Even if you got there, you would find nothing but dust.
That's where you're wrong. By my calculations, there is a resource on the moon of such quantity that the first people to stake a claim will be rich beyond their wildest dreams. And if this institute were to help me in my work, you could build all the analytical engines you wanted with the spoils.
We will not risk any of our staff on your wild goose chase, Tipple. Your plan for getting to the moon is reckless, untested, and probably suicidal.
We'll see who has the last laugh.
Maybe I can use this to help that little professor chap. Good grief! All this amazing technology, and all people want to do with it is play games. I'm sure science will prevail. Computer games will never catch on. Maybe I can use this to help that little professor chap. He looks after the exhibits in the Institute. If they wouldn't reason with the professor, they certainly won't talk to me.
Where to, Governor?
Barnesbury. Wait here, Mossop.
Thank you, sir.
It's stone cold. That maid must have forgotten to boil the water. It will fall apart in my hands. I need to put it in a container of some sort. I'd better open it first. This normally contains certain items that should be flushed, not burned. It almost looks like a cigar. Heaven help anyone who tries to smoke that. Hello, Gertrude.
I made some tea and cake.
Very good, Gertrude. This should make the teacup very slippery indeed.
It's cold!
It's Vichyssoise tea, my dear. Very fashionable on the continent. The sun will warm it up for you.
Oh, the cup's all greasy.
It's, Wedgwood waxy china crockery, dear. Extremely popular with the royal family, I hear.
Well, why didn't you say so? If it's good enough for royalty, it's good enough for me.
That is my beloved fiancée. She's as affectionate as a great white shark, and she shops like there's no tomorrow. I was wondering, my darling, could I possibly, if you wouldn't mind, to help out, you understand, about your engagement ring, my dear?
Yes, Piers, about my so-called engagement ring. Do you realise the jewel is so small, I can hardly even tell I've got it on? So unless you brought me a replacement of a decent size and weight, I don't even want to discuss the subject.
Of course, my petal. I will be talked at by you later, my sweet. If I give too many valuables away, I shall have to register myself as a charity.
Where to, Governor?
Barnesbury. Wait here, Mossop.
Thank you, sir.
Of course, the Highborn Club. Its membership is composed entirely of rich gentlemen who like nothing better than to waste their inherited money on insane ventures. I'll surely be able to find someone there to invest in my expedition.
Where to, Governor?
The Highborn Club on Piccadilly. I don't think I've ever said any more than the most cursory greeting to him.
Good day, Mr. Fedjaw.
Hello, Pitter.
Potter, sir.
Jolly good. He's one of the Highborn Club's servants. I'm sure I can find a more practical use for this than sticking it up my nose. My goodness! This would make a potent explosive substance unless I'm very much mistaken. Not enough to open a safe, but it might be useful as flash powder for a camera. That's the Earl of Lytton. I was at school with him. Hello there. You're the Earl of Lytton, aren't you? Do you remember me? Fanshawe. Piers Fanshawe. We were at school together.
Do you mind? I'm trying to concentrate on my shot.
Sorry, old chap.
Actually, Fanshawe, you can do me a favour. Run along and find that senile butler and tell him to bring me my port. I've been waiting minutes.
Good to see you too. That's the Earl's calling card. It identifies him as a member of royalty, albeit several thousandth in line to the throne. They should give the Earl of Lytton a run for his money. I say, shouldn't you take that glass of port into his lordship? I think I heard him call for it.
Sorry, sir, but I didn't hear him. I'm a little deaf in my right ear. I'll take it in now.
Jolly good.
Oh, 3:30, sir.
Bottoms up, old chap.
Port! Where's my port? I need a little drinky to sharpen my aim. Ah, there you are, my little beauty. Come to Papa. I say, I think I have to go potty.
This could be useful if I wanted to pass myself off as royalty. He's one of the denizens of the Highborn Club, overpaid, oversexed, and over the hill. He's one of the denizens of the Highborn Club, overpaid, oversexed, and over the hill. Gentlemen, I have returned.
Ah, Fanshawe! Long time no see. How are our American cousins?
Coming along quite nicely, considering they've had independence for almost a century now. They're getting the hang of it. Give them another 100 years and they'll probably be the major power on this planet.
What? Bigger than the British Empire? Well, that's preposterous. Who ever heard of such a thing?
One can't stand in the way of progress. Change is inevitable.
Balderdash! All this talk of progress and change, that's why we've got the British Army, to stop that sort of thing. If you're going to continue to spout such contemporary liberal nonsense, we may have to reconsider your membership of this club.
Excuse me, gentlemen. I have a business proposition for you all.
Business, eh? Well, I think we're all men of the world here. What have you got in mind?
And does it involve putting small children and pit ponies down badly ventilated mine shafts? or large and brutal machines which regularly entrap and hideously mangle their impoverished operators?
Good God, no.
Well, that's me out then. Stick to what you know best. That's my philosophy. Huh.
I want to operate sightseeing tours using a boat on the Thames.
I don't think even foreign tourists would want to be shown miles upon miles of common people using the world's largest open sewer.
I'm setting up a ship chartering business.
Not very advisable at the moment, old boy, given this Bally's shipping blockade. Parliament has to authorise every ship's arrival or departure, and there's a 3-month waiting list. Only Her Majesty the Queen has the power to bypass these emergency regulations, so there's not much of a market for private shipping enterprises right now.
I'll speak to you chaps later.
Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe.
Cheerio, Portley.
Potter, sir.
Excellent.
Where to, Governor?
Buckingham Palace.
Are we going to see the Queen, sir?
We certainly are, Mossop. Not only do I have to report on my American business, but I will also ask for her help in vanquishing Dr. Dinsey.
But you aren't booked in to see her until next week, sir. And you know how she is about appointments and punctuality.
Yes, I know that, Mossop. But this is an emergency, and I am one of her most secret and trusted agents. I'll get in to see her. It's a well-known fact that one cannot reason with a soldier.
Halt! Who goes there? Identify yourself or be shot!
I am Piers Fanshawe, secret agent of Her Majesty the Queen, and I carry news of vital importance to the Empire.
Piers who? I've never heard of ya.
That's because I'm a secret agent. Now let me in.
How do I know you're a secret agent? Do you have a badge?
Secret agents don't have badges, or they wouldn't be very secret, would they?
Do you have any gadgets then? You know, like fountain pens that turn into Gatling guns, or a walking cane that converts into a field cannon, or a top hat that always points due north.
No. Now, let me past.
Do you have an appointment?
Yes. It's just not for today.
Then I cannot let you pass. Ordinary people can't just walk into the palace whenever they feel like it. You must have an appointment.
So Her Majesty won't see anyone who hasn't got an appointment?
Well, if you were a royal stock yourself, that would be a different matter. They always look after their own.
I see. I'm the Earl of Lytton. Let me pass.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
Looks like a pile of letters. Your Majesty, I am, as always, your humblest servant.
Fanshawe, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this about our invitation to your wedding? Because you know we can only attend royal engagements.
Oh, no, ma'am. Please forgive my overzealous fiancée. She only invited you because she, wanted to show how much she loves Queen and country. In fact, I think she actually invited most of the country as well. I hope you did not take offense at her misguided action.
Fortunately for you, we did not.
Thank you, Ma'am.
Why have you come to see us? You are not due to report on your secret mission in the Americas for several days hence.
I am aware of that, Ma'am, but there is a more pressing matter that I must discuss with you. One of national importance.
We are listening. Do go on.
A mad doctor is performing inhuman experiments on an uncharted island in the tropics and plans to create an army of horrible creatures that he could use to take over the world. There would be a war the likes of which are unimaginable.
Tell us, Fanshawe, when you were in America, you didn't spend all of your time in a place called California, did you?
No, Ma'am. Why do you ask?
You seem to be exhibiting signs of acute aversion to reality, which is a common complaint about people from that region, or so we have heard.
Your Majesty, I can assure you that I am of sound mind and noble purpose.
Tell Her Majesty about the talking cat, sir.
Mossop, shut up.
What talking cat?
Your Majesty, I'm afraid my manservant is, wondering about the identity of his father. Now, Mossop, don't bother Her Royal Highness with such unimportant matters.
But, sir...
My story is incredible, I agree. But surely any threat to the British Empire, however bizarre, should at least be investigated, should it not?
You have served well in the past. We trust your word as a gentleman that this is a serious matter worthy of our intervention. So, there is to be a war. We have nothing against wars in principle. They're very good for the economy. Will it be over by Christmas? We can't have it interfere with our speech, you understand.
Oh, yes, Ma'am. It'll definitely be over by Christmas. The only trouble is, Britain will not be the victor. If I do not stop this madman now, there will be no one left alive to hear your speech.
We cannot let that happen. Very well. What do you seek?
I need a Navy frigate with a platoon of our finest Marines.
We cannot authorize use of military resources on the word of a single civilian, no matter how much of a gentleman he may be.
One more thing, Ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I need a ship and crew.
Surely a man of means like yourself should be able to afford to charter a ship. You're not telling us that you are not a man of means, are you?
No, Ma'am, certainly not. If I were not a man of means, I would not darken your doorstep with my lowly, poverty-stricken hide.
Well put, Fanshawe.
One more thing, Ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I want you to send the Royal Navy to investigate Dr. Dinsey.
A gentleman would surely go himself. Maybe we misheard you.
I wouldn't dare imagine your Majesty is hard of hearing, but the acoustic properties of this room could have distorted what I said, indeed. One more thing, Ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I will need your permission to bypass the shipping blockade.
Very well. We don't see why you should not. Show this to the officials at the docks, and they will let your ship depart freely.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty. One more thing, Ma'am.
What is it now, Fanshawe?
I just want your blessing, Ma'am.
That we can grant you, Fanshawe. In fact, we can do better than that. We can give you a personal letter of recommendation from the Queen of England that, when presented to anyone, anywhere in the world, will immediately give you an air of superiority and will demand instant respect. It will open doors for you everywhere.
Thank you, Ma'am. You do that just for me?
You are one of our most loyal subjects. You deserve it. Now, go to that pile and take one of the letters. Write your name at the top. I've already signed it.
Oh, thank you once again, Ma'am.
Where to, Governor?
The Crab and Sailor Public House in Whitechapel. I have a letter.
That's all right, love. We've got our own supply.
No, a letter from Her Majesty the Queen.
You come highly recommended by Queen Vicky herself, eh? Not even Prince Albert had a letter like that. I suppose you can come in and look around, and if you like it here, you could become a member. Go on through.
I say, is this the men's room?
They're all men's rooms in here, my love.
So what happens in this room then? Do you do portrait photography?
Oh no, love. This is the humiliation room.
What on earth does that entail?
Well, the gentleman takes all his clothes off and I tie him to the bed. Then I take a photograph of him and get it printed in the morning paper, so he's thoroughly humiliated before the whole of London.
Sounds very effective. Gosh, I feel humiliated if I'm seen wearing the same shirt twice.
So what's it to be then, sir? A bit of the old relief of Mace King, a perilous journey down the Khyber Pass, entrapment in the black hole of Calcutta, a quick Disraeli, or a Twopenny Gladstone. I got fresh apricots in the back.
I'd like to know a bit more about that camera.
Why do you want to know?
I'm a director of What the Butler Saw machines.
Really? Do you think you could get me some work? I mean, as an actress?
If you're good enough and if you are willing to do me a favour.
A favour, eh? You're in luck. That's what I specialise in giving. What's it to be?
Could I borrow your camera?
Oh, well, I'm not supposed to.
Oh, go on, I'll bring it back.
All right then, but don't tell anyone.
Don't worry, I'm going to make you a star.
Great, sir. I can hardly wait.
I shall return the camera to you as soon as I can.
See anything you like, sirs?
What an impressive set of credentials that girl has. Are you used to places like this, Mossop?
I can't afford to get used to them, sir. Not on my wages.
I hope nobody I know sees me here.
If we do meet anybody you know, sir, I'm sure they'll be too busy to notice you.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Where to, Governor?
The Highborn Club on Piccadilly.
Good day, Mr. Fanshawe.
Hello, Potman.
Potter, sir.
Jolly good. This is the latest Sporting Times, just a few days old. Excuse me, gentlemen. Anybody fancy a wager?
Why would we want to make a bet with you, rather than with a respectable bookmaker?
Because I give stupid odds.
How stupid?
100 to 1.
Okay, you're on. What's the bet?
I wager I can get from here to Dinsey Island in a week.
Where on earth is Dinsey Island?
I don't know. No one knows. That's what makes it such a good bet. All I know is that it's in the tropics.
How will you get there? You don't have a ship, do you, Henshaw?
No, but I was hoping you'd let me borrow against my stake so that I could charter a ship.
In the interest of good sportsmanship, I don't see why not.
I see why not.
Kingpiece, what are you doing here, you rogue?
I'm a member of this club too, Piers, you know that. I have every right to be here.
This is a private matter between myself and these honourable gentlemen. Go and bother someone else.
Oh, Piers, you of all people know what an honourable person I am. I would be remiss in my duty as a gentleman if I turned a blind eye to the blatant confidence trick such as the one you are trying to pull on my friends here.
What? Explain yourself, Kingpiece. This is a serious accusation.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is a serious matter. My friend Mr. Fanshawe has offered you 100 to 1 odds for a perilous journey to an uncharted isle, correct? I regret to announce that he is deceiving you. The voyage is easy. You will lose your stake money for sure.
That's poppycock. I will stake my honour on it.
Would you stake your club membership on it? And offer to retire from polite society if you're proved wrong?
I stand by my word, sir.
What do you say to that, Kingpiece?
Well, friends, I suggest we give Mr. Fanshawe a run for his money. I will race him to Dinsey Island, and he must beat me to win the bet. And I have my own ship, fully crewed by experienced sailors and friends in the government, who will expedite my passage through the blockade. What do you say, gentlemen?
It's a good offer, and it means we don't have to pay for Fanshawe's ship. Kingpiece, you've got a deal.
But he's not part of the wager. He's just doing this to spite me.
We're changing the terms of the wager, Fanshawe, as is our right, being of the upper classes. You must beat young Kingpiece to this Dinsey Island place, or resign from this club and never set foot in London again. Agreed?
Agreed. But what happens if I win?
Oh, Piers, it's not the winning, it's the taking part. Got to go! I've got a ship to catch!
But how am I going to be able to compete with him when I haven't got a ship myself?
There may be a way for you to give yourself a fighting chance, Fanshawe. I've got a ship I'd be willing to gamble if the stakes were high enough.
You'd do that for me?
Only because you're a desperate man, and desperate men make silly wagers. Give me a high enough stake and a safe enough bet, and you could win my ship.
I think I may take you up on that. Will this do as a stake? The deeds to my house. It's a lovely two-bedroom terrace property in the heart of London, within easy access of shops and plenty of parking space for carriages.
That would be quite nice as a love nest for a mistress, I suppose. I accept your stake.
How about if I bet that lethargic lad will win the 3:30 at Ascot?
Lethargic lad? He was beaten by 8 lengths by lame tortoise at Aintree last outing, and got thrashed by 3-legged Fury and Mr. Slowcoach in the National. Are you sure?
Very sure. It's all in this paper. He's got odds from the bookmakers of 1,000 to 1.
Sounds like a safe bet to me. OK, Fanshawe, I'll take you up on that.
Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe. Cheerio, Privy. Potter, sir. Excellent.
Where to, Governor?
Take us home, driver. My manservant will give you directions. Here, kitty kitty, look, a nice, expensive, fragile piece of paper.
Oh, my goodness. I must apologize. I don't know what came over me.
Don't worry, you're doing what comes naturally to you as a cat. Just as I planned.
Where to, Governor?
The Royal Scientific Institute, Kensington.
I told you it was a waste of money! Ha! Stupid contraption!
I don't understand. Computers can't go wrong.
Whoopee! I told you so, I told you so. Nah. Hands up all those whose expensive scientific invention is still in one piece. I don't know what you did, young man, but it showed those stuck-up academical snobs for the fools they are. At last, someone who really believes in my theories.
Absolutely. I'm keen to get involved in your experiments.
Well then, you can be my assistant on my trip to the moon. I don't need anyone from the Institute. The only qualifications needed are enthusiasm and bravery. You're obviously enthusiastic. That only leaves one question. Are you man enough for the job, my boy?
How dangerous is it likely to be?
Let's see. I need someone to go out of my rocket to explore the surface of the moon. Nobody knows for sure what's up there. There could be monsters terrifying beyond your imagination.
Ah, I see. Have you got room for one more?
I'm sure we could squeeze another person in.
Excellent. I'll bring my manservant. If there's anything dangerous up there, he'll sort it out. Or die trying. After all, that's what I pay him for.
Capital idea. Well, come to my house in Harrow later on today, and we'll be off.
Where to, Governor?
Harrow. Hello, Professor. I'm here, as requested.
Good, good. I'm nearly ready to go. I just need a few more things for our trip.
Excellent. I'll wait for you. Is there a public house nearby where I could get a drink?
No time for that, young man. You volunteered to be my assistant, so you've got to help me prepare for this momentous journey.
Oh, very well then. What do you want?
Let's see. Fetch me some vitriol. There should be some in my laboratory somewhere. Oh, and I've misplaced the remote controller for my automaton. See if you can find it. There's a good chap.
What on earth is an automaton?
Ah, glad you asked, my boy. It's one of my inventions. Oh yes, a steam-driven machine that will help us to perform dangerous and unpleasant tasks from a safe distance.
Can't you just use a manservant like everyone else?
Good Lord, no. Servants are much too fragile. They're always breaking or bursting or going splat. My machine is far stronger and also far more versatile. I call it Robert. I'd give you a demonstration, but it's already stowed in the rocket.
So you want the vitriol and the remote control?
Yes, please, if you don't mind, young man. Oh, there's one other thing. I haven't had time to have any lunch, so be a good chap and get me something to eat. I have a bit of a hankering for a ploughman's lunch today.
What did your last servant die of?
Explosive decompression. Dreadful affair.
Sir, I am a gentleman, not a gentleman's gentleman. I do not fetch lunch.
You volunteered to be my assistant. That's what you must be.
So you want a ploughman's lunch as well?
That would be lovely. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm going to the moon.
I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm sure I'll be the first person on my street to have one. That must be something the Professor is working on. I better be careful with this stuff. It could burn my hand off.
Oh, super! You got it. Do me a favour and hang on to it for me. If I take it now, I'll only lose it. You found it! Splendid, splendid. You better keep hold of it for the time being. I don't want to lose it again. I can be quite absent-minded at times, you know.
Where to, Governor?
The Crab and Sailor Public House in Whitechapel. Good day, barman.
What's it to be then, sir?
I'd like one of your ploughman's lunches, please, good barman.
Oh, would you now? A ploughman's lunch? That's for your working men, and I can see by your manner that you're a toff. You never done an honest day's work in your life. How dare you come in here and pretend that you're a working man? You want a ploughman's lunch? Go and plough a field. I'm not serving you. On your penny farthing, mate.
I am a working man.
And what makes you think that?
I don't really know.
I thought as much. You haven't got a clue what a real working man is.
OK, what is he then?
Well, I'm in the liquor business, and I can always tell a man's character by what he drinks.
What does a real man drink then?
Real men drink something that is feared throughout civilization. The scourge of sanity, the destroyer of livers, the breaker of wheels. Real men? Ha! They quaff a drink so utterly evil that it devours them even as they devour it. Real men drink scrumpy.
Cider? Is that all?
It's not cider. It might be made from apples, but the contaminants that go into each glass make each mouthful a near suicidal undertaking. It rots your teeth, your guts and your brain. Heaven never smiled upon this sour, joyless pint of miserable corruption, sir. It's the devil's own handiwork, his finest handiwork. No other drink comes close.
Well, I'll have a pint of scrumpy then, please. Straight glass. If it's the only way to prove to you that I am a working man and that I have a legitimate right to eat a ploughman's lunch, then by golly, I'll do it.
Here you go then, sir. 1 pint of scrumpy, and may the Lord have mercy on your soul. I believe this week's special contaminant is a dead sheep's carcass.
Well, I believe in sharing, so... Mossop, care to try some?
No delegation. A working man drinks his own drink.
Oh, well, bottoms up. I think I've earned my lunch now, wouldn't you say?
That I would, sir. I take my hat off to you. You are definitely a real working man.
Don't say it, Mossop.
Where to, Governor?
Harrow.
Where to, Governor?
Harrow.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to enjoy this. Righty-ho. I've got everything I need now, so I'd better be off. Full moon, you see. If it wanes, there'll be less to land on. Might miss. Thank you for your help, young man. Be seeing you.
Wait a minute, I thought you said we could go with you.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. You know, I'd love to have you on board, but I'm afraid I've had second thoughts about taking non-scientific personnel with me. I'd never get insurance.
But you can't just leave me behind, not after all I've done for you.
Why do you feel you have to accompany me?
I want to claim the moon on behalf of the British Empire.
Oh, you can't do that. The moon belongs to everybody, as do all of Mother Nature's wonders. And besides, I want the exploitation rights for myself.
You'd get into too much trouble by yourself.
Nonsense, lad. I'm perfectly able to take care of myself.
I'm doing scientific research of my own.
Really? What research is that?
I want to research alien life forms.
There's no such thing as alien life forms. Everyone knows that.
I want to see what happens when one's manservant throws up in zero gravity.
Not in my nice shiny new rocket, you don't.
I want to research the view from the moon.
What's so interesting about the view from up there?
I want to look at the Earth from the moon.
Why would you want to look at the Earth from so far away?
I'm looking for a specific geographic structure not shown on any maps.
Really? How fascinating. What equipment are you bringing?
I've got a camera and some flash powder.
Super! That's all you need. Right, everyone on board. I'm logging liftoff time at 13 minutes past 1. Oh, I hope that's not a bad omen. Of course not, Professor. It's the hour that makes it unlucky, and it's 1 o'clock, not 13 o'clock, so we're okay. Ready for takeoff. 5, 4. Can I go to the toilet? 3.
Oh, Mossop, you should have gone before we left.
2. This isn't going to be a rough ride, is it? I get seasick, you know. 1. It worked! My rocket actually worked!
I have to say, I am amazed, Professor. We are thousands of miles from the Earth in a converted steam engine on our way to the moon. Quite remarkable.
The moon? Ah, yes. About that, we may actually be going to a different destination.
A different destination? What different destination?
That is, as they say, the question. All I am sure of is that we will miss the moon on this current trajectory.
But I thought you worked it all out, calculated everything. Then what went wrong?
The answer is in the mass of this vehicle and the force required to propel it. Well, I allowed for myself and one assistant on board, But we bought your manservant as well, and he's rather plump.
I might have known it was Mossop's fault. Even 20,000 miles in space, he's no earthly good. Shall I throw him out?
It's too late for that now. You see, we lifted off using the propulsion force required for a lesser mass, so therefore we will
miss the moon.
Exactly.
So we're doomed to drift in space forever.
Oh, no, certainly not. We'll plunge into the sun by tea time.
That makes me feel so much better. What can we do about it?
Nothing, I'm afraid.
Nothing? Professor, we will die if we can't change course. Is there no steering wheel or rudder?
Space rockets don't work like that, young man. They use adjustable engine output to direct them to the target. Wait a minute. That's it. We can steer the rocket to the moon using the engine.
Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, no, we can't. The trajectory has to be worked out precisely using an adding machine, and mine is back in my laboratory. It would take far too long to work out the mathematics by hand.
What about your automaton? Couldn't that work it out?
Good heavens, no. If Robert had a brain, there's no way he'd have come on this mission.
Drat. Couldn't we just guess the force needed from the engines? Steer by eye?
I suppose it's possible, but it would be trial and error. One mistake, and we're doomed.
Then that's what we've got to try.
Couldn't we calculate it using my fingers and toes, sir?
Mossop, with a limited air supply, the last thing you should do is remove your socks. Now just leave this to me. He's quite happy eating his blessed ploughman's lunch. I'll need this to dig for the professor's minerals. It's not exactly the most fashionable item of gentleman's apparel I've ever seen, but it will be necessary if I want to go outside. At least you haven't been sick, Mossop.
Not yet, sir, no. But I am seeing stars before my eyes whenever I look out of the porthole.
How do you feel?
I'm all right, sir. But it's a bit stuffy in here. Maybe if I opened the window.
I don't think that would be a good idea, Mossop. I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
This lever regulates engine output. This lever seems to control vertical movement. This lever controls the horizontal movement of the rocket. That seems to have aligned the levers correctly. That should hold the levers in place. We made it. No thanks to you, Professor. I just hope you can get us back.
Oh, there's no problem about that. I'll recalculate the return trajectory while you're out getting the spoils of exploration.
What spoils? Now, Professor, it's time to come clean and tell me just what you expect to find up here. What is it? Gold? Gems? Oil? Well, it must be something very valuable for you to go to all this trouble.
I suppose it's going to be impossible to keep it a secret now. The fact is, my research has led me to the conclusion that the moon is composed entirely...
Yes?
...of cheese.
Of cheese?
Yes. A variant of cheddar, I believe.
You're mad.
Oh, hardly. When I return to Earth with a rocket full of tipple cheddar, which, because of its exclusivity, I can charge £5 an ounce for at least, I'll be rich. If that's madness, then open the doors to Bedlam, 'cause I'm coming in.
One small step for man, one giant leap for the cheese industry. Oh no, it's the Professor's automaton. Oh well, since Mossop doesn't have a spacesuit that fits, at least Robert can take all the risks. It's an automaton with superficial intelligence. What an ingenious contraption. Maybe an aerial view will help me find what's referred to as the Panther's Eye. That's it. Now all I need to do is take a picture. I've never done this before. I hope we can combust without air. Thank goodness there wasn't any oxygen around to make the explosion any bigger. That snuff is obviously very strong. Looks like a way round the chasm, but it's a pity my suit is too bulky to get through. It has guidance controls on it, as if it steers something. Bridge, so the automaton came in handy after all. And you don't have to pay it wages either. If I can find one that can cook, Mossop's days are numbered. At least I can prove that the moon is not made of cheese.
Found my cheese yet?
Not yet, Professor.
Well, stop messing around in here and get out and find it.
What will I collect the cheese with?
Have this extractor. You can use it to sample the various cheeses and select the tastiest.
It's a powdery yellow substance. I believe it's quite volatile. I'm back, Professor.
Marvellous! How much cheese is there? Am I going to be a millionaire or a multi-millionaire?
Now, how do I put this? Well, there is no cheese here. There's dust, there's rocks, there's craters, but no cheese. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being a moon covered in cheese and 1 being no cheese whatsoever, I'd say this place is minus 658. You'd find Americans on the moon before finding cheese there.
No cheese? You lie! You just want to keep it all for yourself, you cad! You want to grab my gorgonzola, rob me of my roquefort, purloin me of my parmesan, cheat me out of my cheddar!
Professor, if it makes you any happier, I did find this mineral. It's yellow, but it's not at all cheesy, I'm afraid.
Looks like a phosphate compound to me, found in chemistry labs all over the world. That's hardly a discovery.
I'm sorry, Professor. That's just the way it is.
Well, it doesn't matter now, anyway.
That's the spirit, Professor. Don't dwell on failure. Move onwards to success.
No, I mean it really doesn't matter, because we're going to die!
Professor, what have you done?
Actually, it's what you did. When you broke that pipe in order to stabilize the engines, you severed the oxygen supply in the cabin. We haven't got enough fresh air to make it back to Earth.
Excuse me, Professor. I don't remember much about the sciences at school, but I have a vague recollection that adding acid to things ending in -ate produces oxygen. Or does it explode?
You did it! Dear boy, I had no idea you were a chemist.
Actually, neither had I. Right, can we be off now?
But I haven't got my cheese!
I've told you already, Professor. There is no cheese. Accept it.
I can't believe it. My life's work wasted. Why is it everything I do goes wrong? My first project, Tipple's patent depilation cream, the only one of its kind, ruined by an idiot research assistant. Then my next project, to bring a dead body back to life by repairing it with parts of other corpses, all my ideas stolen by some Austrian doctor. And now this!
Come on, Professor. We'd better get you home.
Oh dear.
What now?
Well, when I recalculated the return trajectory, I naturally assumed we'd be laden with Tipple's cheddar.
Stop there. I can guess the rest. We're going much too fast and we're going to miss the Earth.
Hit the Earth?
Hit the Earth, then. Let me guess. At such a velocity, none of us will survive the impact.
Unless something cushions our landing, that is.
Quick, Mossop, get outside and hang on to the front of the rocket. We need something soft and spongy to soften the blow.
Sure? That won't work, young man. We're doomed.
wasn't so bad, was it? Well, my photograph is still intact, so I've got what I need to continue on my mission. Good day, Professor.
But Robert! What about Robert? We left him on the moon.
Oh, he'll be all right. Maybe one day you'll be able to go back for him. Just don't ask me to come along next time.
Where to, Governor?
Take us home, driver. My manservant will give you directions. I say, excuse me, 73? Oh, it's no good. He's completely engrossed. This plant is quite popular with cats, so I've heard. Leave the mouse alone, dear boy. Try this instead. I believe cats quite like it.
Oh, wow, man. Cosmic. I feel groovy.
While 73 is otherwise engaged, I shall save the poor mouse from a long, protracted death.
Where to, Governor?
Barnesbury. Wait here, Mossop.
Thank you, sir.
Look what I found, dear. It was just about to run up your leg.
Oh, get that thing away from me! Get it away!
I hope she won't act like that on our wedding night. This is the most dastardly thing a chap could do, but I'll give it back to her once I've finished with it.
Piers, you worm! How could you let that horrible thing near me? It was as big as a rat! You're never coming near me again!
On the other hand,
Where to, Governor?
Crab and Sailor public house in Whitechapel. I'd better give him the old edition first. Can you do me a favour, old chap?
I don't do nothing for free. If you were to cross my palm with something valuable, I might be able to help you.
Here you are, my good man.
Well, this will do nicely. I just can't resist a nice bit of jewellery. As long as it's not fake, mind. An expensive bauble like this will buy you a big favour in my book.
Can you do me a favour, old chap?
You've paid for my time. What do you want me to do?
I want you to adjust the date of this newspaper and make this look like the latest edition. And, change the result of the horse race while you're at it.
I can't just change the date. A proper forgery requires using authentic material. If you want a good job done, you'll need to get me a new edition of the paper so I can do a bit of cut and paste.
Will this do for your forgery?
Aye, that it will. Give it here. I don't know what you're going to do with this, but I'll bet it's not the sort of business a gentleman like yourself should be involved with.
That's the advantage of being a gentleman. You're always the last to come under suspicion.
Come back a bit later, and you'll have your stuff.
Where to, Governor?
Take us home, driver. My manservant will give you directions. You are house-trained, aren't you?
I don't know, Mr. Fanshawe. I've never been in a house before.
Well, when and if you feel the urge, go outside, or in Mossop's room. How did you get here from Dinsey Island?
To tell the truth, I just swam west until I saw a passing ship, clambered aboard and stowed away for a couple of weeks. Luckily, it was en route to Southampton docks.
How did you come to hear of me and my adventuring exploits?
There was a newspaper on the floor of my cage. It had a feature on you.
They gave you reading matter? Oh, how civilized.
Wasn't actually for reading, Mr. Fanshawe.
Stay here, but stay off the furniture.
Where to, Governor?
The Crab and Sailor public house in Whitechapel. There's nothing like a sure bet.
Where to, Governor?
The Highborn Club on Piccadilly. Good day, Mr. Fanshawe. Hello, Popper. Potter. Sir. Jolly good. Gentlemen, I have here, wet off the press, I mean hot off the press, the results of the 3:30. It appears my horse romped home.
Dash and blast. At those odds. Oh well, Fanshawe. A wager's a wager, and I suppose you'll deserve your winnings. I will make the necessary arrangements for you to have my ship. If you go down to the docks, the captain will be instructed to do your bidding. Look for the SS Farragut.
Thank you, gentlemen. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Goodbye, Mr. Fanshawe. Cheerio, Pongo. Potter, sir. Excellent.
Where to, Governor?
The docks. Here's my permission from Queen Victoria herself to bypass the shipping blockade.
You must have good connections.
Now can I go on board my ship?
Nope.
Why not?
Well, as harbour master, I have to ensure that all the ships that leave have proper plans for their routes, or else they'll get lost and sink. You haven't lodged a route plan with me.
Now listen here, my good fellow. I am a free-spirited wanderer of this fair planet. I wish to sail across the deep blue waters, to feel the fresh oceanic breeze blowing through my hair and the cold sea spray splashing on my face. I will explore the far-flung corners of uncharted territories.
So, you have no idea of where you're going?
No.
Then you've got a problem, sir.
I may consult you later, old chap.
That's not a true mariner's map. Just a pretty picture.
Can't I bribe you to let us leave without filing route plans?
Bribe? Me? A well-respected harbour master? Accepting a bribe? Oh, I couldn't possibly do that. It wouldn't be right.
I can't file route plans. I'm on a secret mission.
Only the Royal Navy is allowed to go on secret missions, lad. And they sail out of Portsmouth. Civilian ships have to file plans.
I see you smoke a pipe.
Aye, it's my one and only vice. I travelled all over the world when I was younger, and I found that the best way to judge a place was to test the strength of the local tobacco. If it produced sweet, aromatic wisps of smoke, then the place was full of landlubbers and tourists and wasn't worth a second look. I always hated those places.
What about the places that you did like?
Ah, the baccy you got from my sort of place made smoke that was thick, black, and made you cough so hard that medical students queued up to dissect you.
And that's a good thing, is it?
Oh, aye. What I wouldn't give for a really strong bit of tobacco. No one makes it like they used to, you know. All those quacks and professors saying it's bad for you. Ah, what do they know? They'll be saying scurvy does you harm next.
I may consult you later, old chap. If you like strong tobacco, old chap, I've got a cigar that you might like to try. It's got a unique flavour, I hear. Each one is lovingly rolled on the thighs of women of loose morals and easy virtue. Then it's left to ferment in a tar pit for 20 years. There's a very limited supply of these, you know.
Well, thank you very kindly, young man. I'm never averse to trying a new smoke.
Oh my goodness, are you all right?
All right? Oh, by golly, lad. That's the best cigar I've ever had. Kicks like a mule, but with a subtle, fruity flavour to it. Where did you get it from?
Oh, a long way away. In fact, I could go and get you some more if you'd like.
Yes, please. That would be right noble of you.
Capital. But there is one small problem. They only make that type of cigar on a remote tropical island, the location of which is a well-guarded secret. If I were to file plans to go there, everyone would be able to get to the island and buy these cigars, and stocks would dwindle, making them impossible to obtain.
Whereabouts is this island, then? I've been all over the world, and I've never even heard of an island such as that.
It's on the Tropic of Cancer, but I can't tell you any more than that. I'm sworn to secrecy.
Okay then, lad. We'll do a deal. I'll let your ship leave without filing official plans, but I'll have to say you're an explorer, and that you're drawing the map as you go.
How ingenious.
You'd better take one of my Imperial maps, though. Otherwise you'll never find your way out of the English Channel.
Thank you. I'll return with more cigars as soon as I can. Come on, Mossop. Let's get on board for a life on the ocean wave, the smell of the sea, the pitching of the ship.
The vomiting of the manservant.
Oh, really, Mossop? You should be getting used to it by now. Come along, Mossop. Did you dispose of all that junk that was cluttering up my pockets?
I certainly did, sir.
One can never be too careful on a ship that pitches and tosses to and fro.
Oh, please don't remind me, sir.
Stop fussing, Mossop. There's no time to lose. We've got to find our captain and set sail immediately. The Union Jack sends a shiver of patriotism down my spine. Are you excited about our latest adventure, Mossop?
I'd be a lot happier if we were on dry land, sir.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Good day, Captain. I am Piers Fanshawe, the new owner of this vessel. I trust you were made aware of this.
Aye, sir, that I was. Welcome aboard the Farragut. I'm Captain Scott.
You're not related to those Scots who do all that exploration, are you?
Unfortunately, no. That family anglicised their name from Scotelsky when they moved to England. I'm one of the original Scots.
I see. Very well, Captain Scott. I command you to take us out to sea on a mission of such secrecy I cannot tell you our destination until we're at least 20 miles from land, and even then I must whisper.
Whatever you say, sir. Splice the anchor, man the breeches, untie the gibbet. Slow ahead.
I say, Scott, are you sure you sailed before?
Aye, aye, sir. Stow the poop. Thank you, Mr. Fanshawe. I'll make good use of this. Right, Mr. Fanshawe. Where do you want to go?
Well, Captain, it's a slightly tricky situation, in that I know the location I want to visit, but I don't know the whereabouts of said location.
So what do you suggest? Shall we just cruise around until we find something that vaguely resembles what you're looking for?
There is a chap who could help us. You may have heard of him. Name's Nematode. Captain...
Nematode? That scurvy spawn of a jellyfish? You won't get any help from that scuttling submariner.
You know him?
Know him? He sunk my last ship with that infernal submarine of his. Part of his crusade to bring down the world order or something like that. He's completely barmy. Lack of oxygen, I expect. Got to his brain.
Do you know where we could find him?
Last I heard, he was hiding out in the ice floes to the north. You can travel under the ice to escape pursuers, you see. That would be the first place I'd look.
Then north it is, Captain. Captain, what's wrong? Why have we stopped?
It's the engines, lad. They cannot take it any longer. The previous owner never spent any money on maintenance, so everything's been fixed with string, spit and prayer.
But can you fix it?
Not easily. I've been doing all I can. We have to limp back to port and go into dry dock to find the problem. I need 4 days.
We don't have 4 days, Scotty. We've got 4 hours. We must get going as soon as possible. My manservant is pretty good with mechanical things, and I'm not a complete duffer. Between us, we should be able to patch the engine up enough to get us where we need to go.
I cannot work miracles, but I wish you luck, gentlemen.
Oh, I'm the gentleman. Mossop's the servant. Just thought I'd make that clear.
Meal overboard!
It's a stuffed porcupine, and it's covered with sharp spines. They're like big needles. I suppose this is a souvenir from one of the captain's previous voyages. It looks so old and mangy, I could just pull a spine out of its skin with my bare hands. Watch out, Mossop. If that had hit your head, the tip would have broken off and it would have been useless.
Sorry, sir.
It's one of those instruments of audio torture. I suppose the captain uses it to warn off other ships in fog. I suppose it might come in handy, if not as a musical instrument, but as a weapon anyway. If I'm going to fix this boat, I shall get myself the proper tools. I'd better be careful not to get too greasy. This gauge shows boiler pressure, but the needler's gone. There's no way of telling what it's reading. This quill should make an effective needle. There's no boiler pressure at all. There must be a leak in the pipe somewhere. I'm no mariner, but I was under the apprehension that a seafaring vessel was supposed to be relatively free of holes. Everything in its proper place, but not there. That should make it easier for the winch to swing round now. There, that should stop the sailor spinning over the side of the ship. Well, at least I opened it. Are you feeling sick yet, Mossop?
I'm all right as long as I can still see land, sir.
But we're miles away from the shore. There's no land in sight.
Thank you for pointing Fudging that, sir.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
That should stop anything leaking through that hole. Why am I doing this? There's a hole in the pipe. I must seal it somehow. Oil isn't sticky enough to seal the valve. Thank goodness I found a use for that evil stuff. Super! I've managed to seal the valve. I can't possibly reach that. I say, Mossop, be a top man and get that flag for me. I can't quite reach.
But you're taller than I am.
Yes, but this is a fitted suit from Savile Row. Any vigorous arm movements could put a strain on the stitching.
Oh, yes, sir. I forgot. But I still can't reach.
Well, try. There's a good chap. There. That should seal the hole and stop the leak. There's some pressure now. All I have to do now is stoke up the boiler a bit to get the steam pressure back up to full power. There. That should restore the engines to perfect order. We can get on our way now. Captain, I could have sworn I saw something on that small iceberg. Pull up alongside. I want to investigate.
Very well. Break out the spinnaker. Button down the mizzen. Hoist the yardarm.
By Jove, sir, it's so good to be off that ship. I hate being sick.
I should say so. At least there was only the one mishap.
Yes, sir. Sorry about your shoes.
Never mind, Mossop.
And your waistcoat, sir.
It's all right, Mossop. Really, it is.
And I'm really sorry about your jacket. And your valise. And your brandy flask. And your best hat. And the back of your neck.
Yes, yes, Mossop. It's a good job I don't really need any of the items we couldn't clean properly, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Right, Mossop. Let's search this iceberg for clues to Captain Nematode's whereabouts.
Sir, I think that might be a clue.
Mossop, your powers of observation never cease to amaze me.
Hello, travellers. I'm Captain Nematode, and you are on board my submarine, the Naughtiness. Now, who are you? What do you want?
I am Piers Fanshawe, and this is my faithful manservant, Mossop. I'm here to ask you for your help.
I don't help land dwellers, especially upper-class parasites like yourself. But you can help me. In fact, you can be my prisoners. I need some bargaining power to keep the Royal Navy off my back.
You can't take us prisoner.
I think you'll find I already have, Mr. Fanshawe.
Don't touch anything.
I won't, sir.
Do you feel sick under the sea?
I hope I don't, sir. There's nowhere to... you know.
Review one's dinner?
Exactly, sir.
I have nothing more to say to you.
Righty-ho, sir.
Where are you taking us?
To my undersea base. You're free to go where you wish within its confines. You'll have the run of the place. In time, you will come to know and love me like a father, and you will be only too happy to work for me. But you can never leave.
What do you do down here?
I spend every waking hour searching for the lost city of Atlantis, a place destroyed by the land dwellers and claimed by the sea.
But I know where Atlantis is.
Don't lie to me, capitalist scum! If you did truly know its location, then you would also know why I'm searching for it. Can you tell me that?
Yes. Of course I can. But I want to take a good look around your base before I lead you to Atlantis.
Well, if you ever decide to tell me why I search for Atlantis, then, and only then, will I believe you know its whereabouts.
I know why you're searching for Atlantis.
Oh, yes? Tell me why.
You're visiting all the cities in the world that begin with A.
Don't be absurd. Who'd want to go to Athens anyway?
You want the real estate.
I don't want land. How dare you imply such a thing? The sea is my mistress, and I shall never leave her.
You're completely mad.
It is the land dwellers who are mad, my son. I see things perfectly clearly. All life came from the sea and should return there.
You want to set up a timeshare operation.
I don't want to make huge amounts of money out of gullible common folk by selling second-rate flea pits in dangerous locations for ridiculously large deposits and prohibitively high maintenance bills.
You bought one then?
Why do you think I hate society so much, Mr. Fanshawe?
You want to take over and be mayor of Atlantis.
I'm not interested in power, Mr. Fanshawe.
I'll tell you later. Right, Mossop. We've got to find out why Nematode wants to find Atlantis so much. Let's search this base for clues.
Righty-ho, sir.
It's another one of those automatons. It seems everyone has one nowadays. I'm not even going to begin talking about Captain Nematode and his large organ. I wonder if those straps are there to prevent the audience from applauding too loudly. Maybe not. Oh, great! I love these things. Listen to this. Ah, so it wasn't my playing after all. My goodness, they're love letters from Captain Nematode of all people. You see, Mossop, he does have a soul. It's a bundle of letters written in somewhat shaky handwriting. He's not important. He's my manservant. Now is not the time to start up a conversation. Super. A suit to ensure one's everyday clothing doesn't become spoilt by salt water. This could come in handy if I need to escape from this place without the aid of Nematode's submarine. Captain Nematode certainly takes his nautical decor theme very seriously. That must be an artist's impression of the mythical mermaid. It's a bundle of letters written in somewhat shaky handwriting.
But who are they to, sir?
Apparently, they're all addressed to... oh dear, a mermaid.
A mermaid? But they're mythical creatures, sir. A human crossed with a fish is biologically impossible.
I'm well aware of that, Mossop. Mind you, some of the things Nematode has written to her are anatomically impossible. All the letters are addressed to the same place, Atlantis. It seems Nematode saw this mermaid years ago and fell in love with her, and he's pursued her ever since. Yeah, the silly fool probably just got drunk in Copenhagen.
That's why he wants to find Atlantis. He thinks she lives there.
Dirty old devil. Still, at least we know his true reason for searching for it. They must be used for moving heavy goods. I know why you're searching for Atlantis.
Oh, yes? Tell me why.
You seek one of the mermaids that inhabit the city.
Then you've been there. You've seen Atlantis. You've witnessed the beauty of the mermaids. Lost your heart to their well-nigh ineffable marine odor.
No, but I do know where Atlantis is.
Where? Tell me where. We'll take my submarine and go right now.
Not so fast. I want to know something in return.
Whatever you want to know. Just ask me. I must get to Atlantis.
Then tell me where I can find Dinsey Island.
I can't tell you that. It's suicide to attempt the journey. You'll never make it past the Reef of Doom.
Then you must tell me how to get past the Reef of Doom, Captain Nematode.
If you get me into Atlantis, I will get you past the reef. I'll even give you a map.
Very well. But you must take me back to my ship now, and you can follow us to Atlantis. I'll give you a signal when it's safe for your vessel to enter.
You understand, of course, that if you try to double-cross me, I shall sink your ship immediately.
I can quite believe that. Now, if you don't mind, I have a ship to get to.
What do we do now, sir?
We must be true to our word and find the exact location of Atlantis for Captain Nematode.
But we don't know where it is.
I know that, you know that, but Nematode doesn't know that. We just have to make sure we find it, or we'll never locate Dinsey Island. Captain, we must leave this area. We'll be heading due south.
Aye, aye, sir. Full speed ahead. Hoist the keel, cast off the forecastle.
I will talk to you later, Captain. Captain, do you recognize this coastline? I believe it to be the location of the lost city of Atlantis.
It does look familiar. Yes, that's the Halanga Peninsula. The island you seek is not on any map I've seen, but using this, I can certainly find it.
Then change course, and we shall make haste to the Panther's Eye. Right, Mossop. This island is far too pleasant to be uninhabited. Why don't you trot off and see if you can find the locals? Explain that we're looking for Atlantis, and if they refuse to help, tell them that we have fire sticks and magic, and that we'll wipe them out if they don't comply.
Isn't that a little strong, sir?
Don't ever tell an Englishman how to treat foreigners, Mossop. We've been doing it for hundreds of years, so I think we've pretty much got the hang of it by now.
Sir! Sir! Help me, sir!
What are you doing in there, Mossop? Stop playing around and get out of that pot.
I can't, sir. You see, the natives have invited me to dinner.
What did you say to them, for goodness sake?
I only told them what you told me to say. They didn't seem to take very kindly to the strong-arm tactics, sir.
Well, obviously, Mossop, you have to temper what you say depending on how outnumbered you are. Have you no idea how to conduct international relations?
If I might interrupt here, who exactly are you?
Oh, I'm dreadfully sorry. I haven't introduced myself. I am Piers Fanshawe, gentleman and agent of Queen Victoria, head of state for the British Empire.
And what is your business here, Mr. Fanshawe?
I'm looking for a place called Atlantis. It's a city under the sea, populated by mermaids, and I heard it was around here somewhere.
I am not familiar with the name, but there is a cave on this island that was tunneled by a civilization that ceased to exist long ago. Maybe that could be what you're looking for.
It's certainly worth a try. If you could just show me where it is, I'll be on my way.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You see, in my country, we have a tradition that whenever someone visits in search of help, he must bring an offering to the chief of the village as a mark of respect. Do you have such a gift?
Let me see. I'm sure I've got something that you'd like. Ah, the fresh smell of a wild-growing plant. Maybe Mossop could plant this in my window box. Those look very nourishing. My golden rule of exploration: never eat the berries. When I was a child, I liked nothing better than spending a lazy Sunday afternoon picking berries and then throwing them at the ruffians in the local stocks. I'm standing by the shore of a freshwater lake. Not bad, really. My first foray into arts and crafts. A gentleman never gets wet without good reason. Chief, as a token of my respect, I give you this valuable trinket. It will increase your fertility manifold and is worth a lot of money in my country.
That's not a lot of use to me, is it? Your country's currency is not valid here.
But consider it an investment. Just think, in a few years when you're invaded and colonized by the British Empire, you'll be so rich that you may even be allowed to keep some of your own land.
Well, thank you. I suppose I should reciprocate the favor. I will lend you my best guide who will lead you to the Serpent Cave, the entrance to the city you seek.
Excuse me, Chief, but the guide is wearing a blindfold. How on earth will he be able to show me the way to this cave?
Mr. Fanshawe, if the guide could see the terrors of the Serpent Cave, he would never agree to take you there.
Terrors, did you say? Is it dangerous, this cave?
Let us just say that no one has ever come out of the cave alive.
I see. I don't suppose you'd let me borrow my manservant for a while. I could have him back in time for dinner.
It isn't hygienic to reheat meat, Mr. Fanshawe.
Right, just checking. Oh well, young guide chappie, lead the way. That must be the laziest animal in the world. Even when I approach it, it doesn't move. That's the entrance to the Serpent Cave. It looks as if that has something to do with the trap in this room. I don't see how I can stand on this panel and cross to the other side. My goodness, that was close. I'll have to find a way to disarm that trap. It's not exactly a huge threat to my safety. I think I can safely carry this animal about. It's too lazy to struggle. I hope this animal doesn't wander off while I'm in the trap. It seems to be stopping something from above this cave falling down into it. I can see the Farragut from here. Don't worry, Mossop. I'll save you.
I hope so, sir. I'm turning pink.
That's perfectly normal, Mossop. If you cast your mind back to just after Christmas, when you last had a bath, you said exactly the same thing then. I was right. The water has cooled down the lava so much that it is solidified, so I can cross safely now. Fascinating. There are little symbols carved onto 3 of the crystals. Unless I'm mistaken, they're ancient Greek characters. There's a delta on the purple crystal, a beta on the green crystal, and a zeta on the blue crystal. I think that's probably significant in some way. And what's this? A blue crystal all on its own. Each pedestal seems to have a small indentation on it. I should be able to place things there. It's not working. It obviously hasn't been used in years. I'll try oiling it down. I don't know if it'll do any good, but it always makes me feel better. By Jove! An entire city under the ground. This could be the archaeological find of the century. This looks like a delicacy. Maybe I could trade it for something less exotic to eat. It's a model of the lost city of Atlantis. It's the purple crystal I found in the Atlantis throne room. It's the purple crystal I found in the Atlantis throne room. I think that did the trick. Now Nematode can get his submarine into Atlantis. I should go and signal him now. Naha! It looks like he's found the tunnel already. Well, Captain, I did my part of the deal. I got you into Atlantis. Now you must give me that map for the Reef of Doom.
Oh, all right. Here it is. Use it wisely. Those are uncharted, shark-infested, pirate-ridden waters. Very dangerous to those who don't know what they're doing.
Captain, I've been to the moon in a converted steam engine. I've travelled to the bottom of the sea in your submarine. I've visited the most debauched vermin nests in the East End of London. Goodness, I've even been into my manservant's bedroom. Give me some credit. I've faced some pretty horrible things over the past few days.
If you think you're man enough, then go ahead. But don't say I didn't warn you. Now, how about this place? Where are all the mermaids, then? Did you tell them I was coming? Did you?
I hate to be the one to break the news to you, but it appears they've all left.
All of them? Where have they gone?
Apparently, they've formed a synchronized swimming team and have gone on a tour of tourist hotspots in the Mediterranean.
No! No!
Well, I'll be off then. Thanks for the map. I hope this animal doesn't wander off while I'm in the trap. I say, Chief, Instead of eating my gristly, greasy, disease-ridden companion, try this instead. You might like it.
What is it?
It's called rock. It's sweet. Go on, it's lovely.
And it won't rot one's teeth?
Not as much as eating my manservant will. His liver is marinated in alcohol. Very unhealthy. No, the rock is much safer.
Very well. Release the little fat person. The hunting dogs will have to eat something else.
The hunting dogs? What do you mean?
We were cooking your friend for dog food. Heavens, you don't think we were going to eat him, do you? We're not savages, you know.
That was a close call, sir. I thought I'd had it.
I simply assumed that if the results of you being cooked are anything like the results of your cooking, then the whole tribe would have been wiped out from food poisoning. I couldn't allow that to happen.
No, sir. I suppose you couldn't.
That's our transport to and from the ship. Here you are, Captain. It's a map to the reef.
Thank goodness. We would have been dashed into matchwood if we'd just steamed in blindly. We're through! Let's find this island of yours, shall we, Mr. Fanshawe?
Capital idea. By the way, I must congratulate you on your navigational skills. I don't think anyone else could have got us through that reef alive.
It was touch and go, Mr. Fanshawe. I did not think the engines would have held for much longer. They're no built to take that kind of stress.
Ship ahoy! Ship ahoy!
Another ship? In these waters?
We'd better investigate. And if they've found an easier way around the reef, I want a refund.
Oh, no. Pirates! What makes you think they're pirates, sir?
Oh, just a hunch, Mossop. Just a hunch.
It's pulling alongside. I think they want to talk to us.
Ahoy there, me hearties! Hello, Piers, old chap. Bet you didn't expect to see me here, did you? Like my new set of sails?
What do you want, Rafe, you creepy cove?
Oh, it's perfectly simple, Piers. I want you. Come over to my galleon.
It's not going to be much of a race if we're on the same ship, is it? I think it could possibly turn out to be a dead heat in that case, don't you?
Things change, Piers. It's not about racing anymore.
Look, I'd love to sit around and chat, but I've got to get to Dinsey Island. Bit of a rush, you see. Sorry.
I'm afraid I can't let you do that, old chap. Captain, would you mind awfully handing over your passengers to me? You must be joking. I'm a man of honour, and if I am hired to take someone to Dinsey Island, then I will take them there, and no amount of arguing will persuade me otherwise.
Well, I think that captain gave in far too easily.
I definitely want a refund from the cad.
Hello, my little captives. How are you doing?
What's the meaning of this, Kingpiece? Is this some pathetic attempt at cheating so that you can win the bet?
Piers, calm down. I've already won the bet. I've been to Dinsey Island.
I don't believe it. How did you get there first?
It was quite simple, really. While you were messing around trying to charter a ship in London, I bribed the harbour master to let my ship through the blockade. I had a massive head start.
Yes, this ship of yours. What manner of vessel is it?
It's a genuine antique, but since it was second-hand, it was obviously cheaper than buying one new. And it came fully crewed by men who appreciate my way of doing things.
Yes, pirates. I can see that. But if you've won the bet, what do you want with me?
Well, when I got to the island, I met this affable chap called Dr. Dinsey, who, strangely enough, you neglected to mention when you proposed this journey, Piers, you naughty boy.
You met Dr. Dinsey?
Yes, we got on like a house on fire. I really admire what he's planning to do with his gene machine, and, well, to cut a long story short, we've teamed up. I said that I would track down the people who were trying to thwart his plans, and he will make me commander of his armies. And as you are no doubt aware, he who controls the mutant hordes will control the planet.
You're as balmy as he is.
Oh, Piers, can't you see that genetic engineering is the future? Imagine cows crossed with elephants. Think of the rump steaks you could have.
Think of the cowpads.
Imagine humans crossed with sheep. How docile they'd be.
Actually, I remember reading about a lonely farmer who was trying to do something like that.
Kingpiece, you're sick. What you're suggesting is immoral, degrading, and it goes against all of God's will.
But don't you see? Using the gene machine will make us gods.
So where do we fit in? Why haven't you killed us if you think that we're a threat?
Isn't it obvious? The doctor needs raw materials for his experiments. You will be the next victims of the gene machine.
Is that the gene machine?
Don't be silly, Mossop. It's some sort of flying machine. We're dealing with a mad doctor here. Goodness knows what other things he's invented.
Ah, Rafe, my boy. Back at last. And I see you have brought guests.
I have indeed, Doctor. Allow me to introduce Piers Fanshawe, gentleman and would-be hindrance to our plans.
And what about the fat one?
Just a common servant, not worth caring about.
I say so. He can't talk about me like that.
I'm afraid he's right, Mossop. It is important to remember your place in the pecking order, no matter what your situation.
Sorry, sir. I'll bear that in mind in future. What's left of it at any rate.
Doctor, I've heard so much about your plans, but very little about the man behind them. It puzzles me as to why you seem to have such a grudge against humanity.
Since you ask, Mr. Fanshawe, and because you are not long for this world, I will recount to you the distressing story of a young scientist cheated of the chance to be successful.
Oh, no. Now you started him off again.
20 years ago, I was working as a laboratory assistant at the Royal Scientific Institute. I was the brightest worker there. I studied in my spare time and did all my work with efficiency and civility. Then, one cold December afternoon, my life changed forever. I was working with a scientist, an absent-minded idiot. Albert Tipple was his name.
Tipple? But we...
Mossop, I don't think the doctor is interested in what you have to say, if you understand what I mean.
Anyway, while I was otherwise occupied, Tipple accidentally poured the results of his latest experiment into my cup of tea instead of into the flask beside it. When I finally drank my tea, I was taken so ill that all my hair fell out and never grew back. Any of it.
But it was an accident.
I was ruined. Everybody laughed at me behind my back. I became a recluse, trying desperately to find a cure for my affliction. Eventually, I stumbled across the idea of genetic recombination so that I could regrow my hair. But the other scientists said it was a silly idea, that it would never work. They laughed at me even more.
But you made genetic recombination succeed, though. You proved them wrong.
Oh no, they were right. I couldn't fix my hair. But I could fix them. In the course of my research, I worked out the plans for my gene machine and how I could use it to take over the world.
How did you manage to build it all by yourself? You must have had help.
I joined forces with a fellow sociopath, Captain Nematode. He and his men brought my equipment to this island, where I could be left in peace. We struck a deal that the oceans could be his, and dry land was mine.
So, what do you have in store for us? If you're going to put us into your machine, please let Mossop go first. We have a contractual agreement as master and servant that he has to die before I do.
That will come later, gentlemen. Right now, you're just in time for a little demonstration of my amazing gene machine. Today, we are experimenting with flight, so that my armies can bring a new terror to the battlefield. Death from the skies.
This should be good.
Witness the vicious attack dog, prized by the criminal fraternity for its innate savagery. Witness the hunting falcon, a quick and ruthless killer, trained to hunt the target of your choice. Both experts in their field, but imagine what would happen if one combined their most dangerous attributes. Rafe, throw the switch, please.
Right-ho, Doctor.
Behold, my creation!
Good Lord.
Right, the show's over for now. Put them in one of the cages, Rafe. I will deal with them later.
Well, that's it, sir. We will be put into that machine and be transmogrified into something ghastly.
Look on the bright side, Mossop. In your case, whatever you are turned into will doubtless be an improvement.
I'd just like to say, it's been an honour working for you, sir.
We're not finished yet, my dear chap. I'll find a way out of this. If I don't get back to England alive, I don't even want to think about what Mirabella will do to me. That looks like one of Dinsy's early experiments. A resounding failure, I suspect. Hey, ugly person.
Oh, me?
No, I'm talking to your better-looking friend.
Oh.
Of course I'm talking to you. Good grief, you're stupid as well as cosmetically challenged.
Yeah.
Let us out!
No. I'm not supposed to do that.
I need to go to the toilet.
You've got to go where you're sitting, like I do.
I want a separate cell. I can't lodge with the servants.
I can put you in a cage with one of the other animals if you want.
No thanks. At least I know what kind of animal Mossop is. I'll talk to you later. I'm too busy being incarcerated. Looks like a victim of Dinsy's experiments. Ugh! What kind of horrible, slimy creature is that?
I don't think we want to know, sir.
Psst. Psst. I don't know what you are, but help us get out of here and I'll try to help you. Did it hear me?
I don't know, sir. Maybe it did, and it just hasn't got a mouth to answer with. I wonder what the rest of it looks like.
Good point, Mossop. Actually, I'm not sure I want to see what it looks like at all. It might be horrible. Do you do tricks, or can you only drool?
What do you mean?
Well, do you fetch a stick? Roll over and die for your country? That sort of thing.
I've never tried.
Would you like to learn?
Yeah.
All right. We'll start with something simple, like a somersault.
How do I do that?
Right. You start by taking a long run up to get some speed, so step back a few feet.
To here?
Just a bit further. I guess it understood me, Mossop.
How horrible. Grabbed by the tentacles. Are you going to free that creature for saving us, sir?
Not just yet. You saw what it did to our captor. We'll let it out later. Much later. Come on, Mossop. We have to stop Dinsy. This should foul up his dastardly machine. It's one of the control levers of Dinsy's gene machine. It seems to have reverse written next to it. I wonder if it can reverse the direction of genetic transfer. Well, I can but try. I say, Dinsy, over here!
Fanshawe, how did you escape? Oh, never mind. It was probably that idiot assistant of mine. I shall have to deal with you myself.
Hold on a second, old chap. I actually came to tell you that I think your machine is fascinating, really fascinating, and I'm awfully impressed. See, I'm afraid King Peace has misled you as to my intentions. I don't want to stop you. I want to join you.
Sir! I can't believe it! Not you, sir!
Shut up, Mossop. You're nothing but a worthless piece of detritus in the sewer of humanity. You don't belong here with gentlemen such as the Honourable Dr. and I.
But, sir, I never expected you should show me any sort of respect or common decency, what with me being a lowly manservant. But I at least thought that you liked me.
Liked you? I tolerated you at best. The folly of the lower classes, eh, Dinsy? Now, go and stand in the corner, Mossop. I will deal with you later, after I've discussed the finer points of genocide with the doctor.
Well, Fanshawe, I have to say I'm shocked and more than a little impressed. I had no idea you felt exactly the same way as I do about the world. But wait a minute. How do I know this isn't a trick?
Well, my dear chap, for one thing, I could have escaped when I had the chance, and yet I came to talk to you. And for another thing, I may have a solution for your lack of follicular activity.
My hair? You could restore my hair?
I certainly think I could help, but I need to get a good look at your pate. May I come a little closer?
What if this is a trick to get closer to me?
Well, all right then. Stand on that pedestal over there so I can get a better view. I won't come any nearer.
Very well. How do I look?
Now, Mossop! Throw the switch now!
You don't like me anymore. You've joined the dark side.
Oh, for crying out loud, Mossop. It was just a trick. Throw the switch.
What? A trick?
You mean it, sir? You're still one of the good guys?
Throw the bloody switch, you fool!
No!
I guess he finally discovered what he was made of.
Sir, I think maybe we should leave. This place doesn't feel particularly safe.
I have a funny feeling that you could be right for once, Mossop. We should make haste to the galleon.
What about King Peace and his pirates?
We'll deal with that little worm when we come to him.
I think this extinct volcano has just reawakened. And maybe we should wait and see what happens. From a safe distance, that is.
What about the others?
They can fend for themselves. All aboard! Let's get out of here!
Ha-ha!
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 You're not thinking of using that, are you, sir?
It's our only hope, Mossop. Climb on and pedal for your life.
We made it, sir. We were in the direst peril, but you saved us, and indeed, the whole of mankind.
I simply did what any English gentleman would have done, Mossop. Now, keep your speed up. We might be able to make it to the mainland in time for tea.
Certainly, sir. But I'd just like to point out that this is a tandem, and there is room for one more person in the peddling department.
So there is, Mossop. I suppose it would make it easier for you if someone were to help propel this vessel.
It certainly would, sir.
Maybe I could help.
That's exactly what I was thinking, sir.
Capital. I will see about getting another manservant the moment we reach dry land. All the more reason for you to hurry up then, isn't there?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.